Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, good things don't just happen by chance. They happen when you decide to believe beyond what you see. Maybe you've been waiting for that breakthrough, speaking positive words and trying to manifest that dream, but nothing is changing. You're wondering, why isn't this working? Let me tell you, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Some people sit back, hoping, wishing, waiting, but real faith doesn't just wish. It prepares. If you believe something is coming, you start making room for it. You act like it's already yours. That dream job, dress like you already have it. That business, work like the clients are on the way. That healing, speak life over yourself. But here's the key. You can't let delays make you doubt. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Too often, people give up right before the breakthrough. They stop believing, stop preparing, and start settling. But if you stay faithful, if you stay ready, doors will open at the right time. Your words matter, your actions matter, but most importantly, your patience matters. The right things come when you don't just hope, but when you trust. So keep moving, keep preparing, and know that what's meant for you is already on its way. Are you ready to receive it? Many people desire great things, but deep down, they don't truly believe they will happen. They hope for success, pray for opportunities, and dream of a better life, but their mindset is still stuck in doubt. When you wish for something, you see it as far away, something that might happen if everything goes right. But when you believe, you see it as already yours. You walk with confidence, knowing that what you're hoping for is not just possible, it's on the way. Think about a farmer planting seeds. He doesn't put seeds in the ground and then wonder if something will grow. He doesn't check every few hours, questioning whether he made a mistake. No, he plants with expectation. He knows that under the soil, something is happening, even if he can't see it. He waters it, gives it sunlight, and trusts the process. That's the kind of faith you need. You don't just throw out dreams and wish they come true. You plant them in your heart, nurture them with your actions, and expect them to grow. Many times, people cancel out their own blessings by the way they think. They say they want success, but in the back of their minds, they don't really believe they can have it. They want to be healthy, but they keep telling themselves they'll never get better. They want to meet the right person, but they're convinced they're always unlucky in love. Your mind is powerful. If you constantly focus on what's not happening, you'll keep attracting more delays. But if you shift your mindset and start believing, things will begin to change. Belief is not just about positive thinking. It's about making a decision deep in your heart that no matter what it looks like, you know your breakthrough is coming. When you believe, you walk differently. You don't talk like someone who's hoping. You speak like someone who already has the answer. You don't say, I hope I get the promotion. You say, the right doors are opening for me. You don't say, maybe one day I'll have a successful business. You say, my business is growing and opportunities are coming my way. Words have power. And when you start speaking in faith, you shift the atmosphere around you. Sometimes the biggest obstacle isn't the outside world. It's your own mind. You might be looking at your circumstances thinking, nothing is changing. I've been trying for so long, but I'm still in the same place. That's where many people give up. But if you could see what's happening behind the scenes, you would never doubt again. Just like a seed underground, your blessing is developing. Just because you don't see movement doesn't mean growth isn't happening. The key is to stay in a place of belief. Don't let time make you give up. Don't let disappointments make you doubt. Belief isn't about ignoring reality. It's about trusting a greater reality. It's about knowing that what's meant for you is already in motion. When you believe, you start preparing. You don't wait until the opportunity arrives to get ready. You get ready now. You walk in expectation. If you're believing for a new job, start acting like you already have it. Wake up early, sharpen your skills, carry yourself with confidence. If you're believing for healing, start speaking life over your body. If you're believing for financial breakthrough, start managing your money wisely now. There's a difference between wishing and believing. Wishing is passive. It keeps you in a place of waiting, hoping something will change. Believing is active. It pushes you to move, to prepare, to expect. When you truly believe, you don't worry about how or when. You just know it's coming. That's when doors start to open, opportunities start to appear, and what once seemed impossible becomes your reality. So shift your mindset, stand in faith, and start believing like it's already done. Many people have big dreams, strong desires, and great ambitions, but they find themselves stuck in the same place year after year. They wonder why things aren't changing, why their prayers seem unanswered, or why their vision isn't coming to life. The truth is, it's not enough to just want something. You have to take action that aligns with your goals. You can't just sit back and wait for the perfect moment, hoping that everything will fall into place. Real faith requires movement. It requires stepping out, even when you don't have all the answers. Imagine someone who wants to be in the best shape of their life. They think about it, visualize it, and maybe even talk about it. But if they never change their habits, if they never start exercising or eating better, nothing will change. It's not that their goal is impossible, it's that their actions don't match their desire. The same principle applies to every area of life. If you want to see growth, if you want to step into a new level, your actions must line up with your vision. You can't just dream about success, you have to prepare for it. A lot of times people make the mistake of waiting until everything is perfect before they take action. They say, I'll start when I have more money, or I'll take that step when I feel ready. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect moment. There will always be reasons to wait, always excuses to hold back. But those who move forward are the ones who take action in spite of uncertainty. They don't wait until every detail is figured out. They start where they are with what they have and trust that the rest will fall into place. Think about someone who wants to start a business. They might spend years thinking about it, researching, making plans, but never actually taking the first step. They tell themselves they need more time, more resources, or more experience. But the most successful people aren't the ones who wait until they have everything. They are the ones who start before they feel ready. They take the small steps, learn along the way, and adjust as they go. They don't let fear stop them. They understand that action creates momentum, and once they start moving, things begin to shift in their favor. Sometimes the first step feels insignificant. It may not seem like much is happening, but every great journey begins with one step. If you want to write a book, start writing a few pages each day. If you want a healthier lifestyle, begin with one small change at a time. If you want financial freedom, start by managing what you have now. You don't have to have everything figured out to begin. What matters is that you're moving in the right direction. Many people think they are waiting on the right opportunity, but the reality is opportunities often come when you're already in motion. When you take action, when you put in the effort, doors start to open that wouldn't have opened otherwise. It's not a coincidence, it's because you positioned yourself for success. When you show up consistently, when you take steps in faith, you create the conditions for breakthrough. You don't just wait for life to change, you take responsibility for making things happen. One of the biggest challenges is overcoming the fear of failure. Many people hesitate to take action because they're afraid of making mistakes, afraid of what others will think, or afraid of not getting the results they want. But failure is not the enemy. In fact, failure is often the very thing that leads to success. Every successful person has faced setbacks, but they didn't let those setbacks define them. They learned from them, adjusted their approach, and kept moving forward. Taking action means being willing to fail, being willing to step out even when you don't have all the answers. Another important part of taking action is consistency. It's not about doing something once and expecting instant results. Real change happens through daily effort. If you only take action when you feel motivated, you'll never build momentum. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, even when progress is slow, you have to stay committed. Every small action adds up. And over time, those small steps turn into something greater than you ever imagined. Some people take action, but then stop when they don't see immediate results. They start something new, get excited, but the moment they face resistance, they give up. They think maybe this isn't meant for me, or maybe it's just too hard. But breakthroughs don't happen overnight. The most successful people are the ones who keep going even when it's difficult. They don't let temporary obstacles stop them. They understand that progress isn't always visible right away, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Taking action also means surrounding yourself with the right influences. You can't expect to grow if you're constantly around negativity, doubt, or people who don't believe in your vision. If you want to succeed, you need to align yourself with people who encourage you, who push you to be better, who challenge you to keep going. You need an environment that supports your goals, not one that pulls you down. At the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing. Are you willing to move? Are you willing to take that first step even when it's uncomfortable? Are you willing to keep going even when you don't see immediate results? The people who succeed in life aren't necessarily the most talented or the most educated. They are the ones who take action, who refuse to quit, who keep showing up day after day. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They create their own opportunities. So if you've been waiting, if you've been hoping for something to change, this is your sign to take action. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let doubt stop you. Start where you are, take one step, and trust that everything else will fall into place. The moment you start moving, the moment you take action, things will begin to shift in your favor. Your dreams are possible, but they require effort. Take action, stay consistent, and watch how your life begins to transform. Many people have dreams, goals, and desires, but the biggest thing standing in their way is not their circumstances, it's their own thinking. The thoughts they repeat to themselves every day shape their reality. They may want success, but deep down they tell themselves they are not capable. They may want opportunities, but they believe they are not lucky enough. They may want a better life, but they convince themselves it's not possible for someone like them. These thoughts act as invisible barriers, holding them back from reaching their full potential. Limiting thoughts don't always start out obvious. They often come from experiences, past disappointments, or even words spoken by others. Maybe someone told you that you weren't smart enough, and now you carry that belief. Maybe you tried something once and failed, so now you assume you'll never succeed. Maybe you've been stuck in the same place for so long that you've started to believe that's just the way life is. But none of these things are the truth. They are simply thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. The mind is powerful. What you believe about yourself will determine what you pursue, what you allow yourself to receive, and ultimately what you achieve. If you think small, you will live small. If you believe you are not worthy, you will settle for less than you deserve. But the moment you recognize these limiting thoughts and choose to replace them, everything begins to shift. It starts with awareness. Pay attention to what you say to yourself every day. How do you speak about your abilities? Do you tell yourself that you're not good enough, not talented enough, not experienced enough? When you face a challenge, do you immediately think of all the reasons you might fail? If so, it's time to shift your thinking. Instead of focusing on what you lack, start focusing on what is possible. Instead of telling yourself that you can't, remind yourself that you are capable, that you are growing, that you are learning. One of the most common limiting thoughts is the belief that past failures define the future. Just because something didn't work out before doesn't mean it won't work out now. People let one bad experience convince them that they should never try again. They carry the pain of rejection, disappointment, or failure and use it as proof that they are not meant for more. But the truth is, every successful person has faced failure. Every strong person has been through struggle. What separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck is not the absence of failure, but the decision to keep going in spite of it. Another limiting thought is comparison. People look at others who seem more successful, more talented, more fortunate, and they convince themselves that they don't measure up. They focus so much on what others have that they forget their own unique potential. But comparison is a trap. It keeps people stuck, focusing on what they lack instead of recognizing their own strengths. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. As long as you are growing, as long as you are improving, you are on the right path. Fear is another way limiting thoughts take control. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of stepping into the unknown. These thoughts can be paralyzing. People tell themselves they will take action when they feel ready. But the truth is, waiting for the perfect moment is just another way of letting fear win. Growth happens outside of comfort. The people who achieve great things are not the ones who never feel fear. They are the ones who move forward despite it. Breaking free from limiting thoughts requires intentional effort. It means choosing every day to think differently. It means replacing doubt with confidence, fear with courage, and negativity with possibility. When an old thought tells you that you're not good enough, replace it with a new thought. I am capable. When you hear the voice that says, this is too hard, respond with, I am strong enough to handle challenges. It may feel unnatural at first, but the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Sometimes the environment reinforces limiting thoughts. If you are surrounded by negativity, by people who doubt you, by voices that tell you what you can't do, it will be harder to break free. That's why it's important to protect your mind. Surround yourself with positivity, with inspiration, with people who believe in growth and possibility. Read books that challenge your thinking. Listen to messages that uplift you. Fill your mind with thoughts that empower you rather than limit you. Another key to breaking free is action. Sometimes the best way to overcome a limiting thought is to prove it wrong. If you believe you're not good at something, practice it until you improve. If you believe you're not strong enough, push yourself to do something difficult. When you take action, you start building evidence that contradicts your old beliefs. You start seeing that you are more capable than you thought. Patience is also important. Changing thought patterns doesn't happen overnight. You may find yourself slipping back into old ways of thinking, and that's okay. The key is to recognize it and redirect your thoughts. Progress is not about perfection, it's about consistency. Every time you replace a limiting thought with a powerful one, you are rewriting your mindset. As you begin to shift your thinking, you'll notice changes in your life. Opportunities will start appearing. Doors that seem closed will begin to open. You will feel more confident, more motivated, more ready to step into the life you were meant to live. It all starts in the mind. The moment you let go of limiting thoughts and replace them with possibility, you set yourself on a new path, one filled with growth, success, and unlimited potential. One of the hardest things to do is to keep going when it feels like nothing is working. You start with excitement, full of motivation, ready to see results. But as time passes and things still look the same, doubt starts creeping in. You begin to wonder if all your effort is even making a difference. You question if you're wasting your time, if maybe this path isn't for you. This is where many people give up. They assume that because they don't see progress, it means nothing is happening. But the truth is, growth is often taking place beneath the surface, long before you ever see visible results. Think about planting a seed. When a farmer places a seed in the soil, he doesn't expect to see a tree the next day. He knows that before anything appears above ground, the roots are growing below. There are days, weeks, even months where it looks like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, there is progress. Then one day, after consistent watering and care, a small sprout appears. If the farmer had given up because he saw no immediate results, he would have missed the harvest. This is how life works. The things you are working toward may not show results right away, but that doesn't mean they aren't working. The effort you put in today is preparing you for tomorrow's breakthrough. Every time you push forward, even when you don't feel like it, you are strengthening your foundation. Success is not built in a day. It is built through small, consistent actions over time. Many people stop just before their breakthrough. They give up on their dreams because they assume lack of visible progress means lack of progress altogether. But what they don't realize is that the process was working. The door was about to open. The opportunity was about to come. If they had just held on a little longer, they would have seen everything fall into place. Staying consistent is difficult because it requires trust. It requires believing that your hard work is not in vain, even when you don't see immediate evidence. It means showing up every day, giving your best, even when it feels like nothing is changing. It means sticking to your plan even when you don't feel like it, even when the excitement has faded, even when progress seems slow. One of the biggest mistakes people make is measuring success by short-term results. If they don't see fast progress, they assume they are failing. But real success is built over time. A person who wants to get in shape won't see drastic changes after one workout. A writer who wants to finish a book won't complete it in one sitting. A business owner won't become successful overnight. The results come from daily effort, from showing up again and again, even when no one is watching, even when no one is clapping, even when no one believes in you yet. It's easy to be consistent when you feel motivated, but true consistency is tested when motivation is gone. There will be days when you don't feel like putting in the effort, when you question if it's worth it. Those are the days that matter the most. Pushing through when it's hard is what separates those who succeed from those who quit. Doubt will try to creep in. It will whisper, nothing is changing. You've been working for so long and you're still in the same place. But that is a lie. You are not in the same place. Every day that you show up, you are growing, you are learning, you are building habits that will carry you to your goal. You may not see the change, but you are changing. One of the reasons people struggle with consistency is because they focus too much on the end goal instead of the daily process. They become so fixated on the big achievement that they get discouraged when they don't reach it fast enough. But true progress happens in the small daily actions. Instead of focusing on how far you still have to go, focus on winning the day. Ask yourself, what can I do today to get a little closer to my goal? Then do that and trust that over time, those small efforts will add up. Another challenge is comparing your progress to others. It's easy to look at someone else's success and feel like you're falling behind, but comparison is dangerous because everyone's journey is different. Some people may see results faster than you, but that doesn't mean you're failing. You are on your own path, and as long as you keep moving forward, you will reach your destination. There will be moments of discouragement. There will be days when you wonder if you're capable, if you're strong enough, if you have what it takes. But if you keep going, if you refuse to quit, you will prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. One of the best ways to stay consistent is to remind yourself why you started. When the process feels long, when progress feels slow, go back to the reason you began in the first place. What was the dream that set your heart on fire? What was the vision that made you excited? Hold on to that. Let it be your motivation on the hard days. Success is not about who is the fastest, the strongest, or the most talented. It is about who refuses to quit. It is about who keeps going no matter what. If you stay consistent, if you keep putting in the work even when it feels like nothing is happening, you will eventually see the results. One day you will look back and realize that every small step mattered. Every moment of persistence brought you closer. Every time you pushed through doubt, you were building the strength to carry the success that was coming. So don't stop. Don't give up because it's taking longer than expected. Keep showing up. Keep believing. Your breakthrough is coming, and when it arrives, you'll be grateful that you never quit. One of the hardest things to accept in life is that things don't always happen when we want them to. We set goals, we make plans, we work hard, and yet sometimes it feels like nothing is coming together. We wonder why things are taking so long. We question if we're on the right path. We look around and see other people moving forward, reaching milestones, achieving success, while we seem to be standing still. It can be frustrating, discouraging, even painful. But what if the timing isn't wrong? What if the delay isn't a denial, but a preparation? It's natural to want things to happen quickly. When we have a dream, we want to see it come to life now. When we work towards something, we want to see results right away. Waiting feels uncomfortable. It makes us doubt. It makes us wonder if we're wasting our time. But just because something isn't happening on our schedule doesn't mean it's not happening at all. Just because we can't see the progress doesn't mean things aren't moving behind the scenes. Think about nature. A tree doesn't grow overnight. A caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly in an instant. Everything in life has a process, and every process has a timing. When a farmer plants seeds, he doesn't rush the harvest. He doesn't dig up the soil every day to check if something is growing. He trusts that in the right season, the seeds will sprout. He knows that there is a time for planting, a time for growing, and a time for harvesting. Life works the same way. There is a reason for every delay. Sometimes we are ready for something, but the opportunity isn't ready for us. Other times the opportunity is ready, but we are not. We may think we are prepared, but there are still lessons we need to learn, skills we need to develop, or experiences we need to go through before we can handle what we're asking for. If we receive something too soon, we may not have the ability to sustain it. The things that are meant for us will come at the right time, not a moment too early or too late. It's easy to look at others and feel like we are behind. We see friends, colleagues, or even strangers achieving what we want, and we wonder why we're not there yet. But comparison is dangerous because everyone has a different path. What is right for someone else may not be right for us. The timing that works for them may not be the timing that works for us. Instead of focusing on where others are, we have to focus on our own journey, trusting that what is meant for us will come when it's supposed to. Patience doesn't mean doing nothing. It doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for things to magically happen. It means continuing to work, continuing to grow, continuing to show up every day, even when we don't see immediate results. It means trusting that every effort we make is not wasted, even if we can't see the outcome yet. It means believing that every step, no matter how small, is bringing us closer to where we're meant to be. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually protection. There are times when we think we're ready for something, but if we received it, it would overwhelm us. There are relationships we wanted that would have broken us. There are jobs we applied for that would have drained us. There are opportunities we chased that would have taken us in the wrong direction. Looking back, we can see that not getting what we wanted was actually a blessing. The things that didn't work out were clearing the way for something better. Trusting the timing doesn't mean we won't feel frustrated. It doesn't mean we won't have moments of doubt. But in those moments, we have to remind ourselves that just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it never will. Some things take longer because they are bigger, greater, more meaningful than we imagine. Some things require more preparation, more growth, more alignment before they can come into our lives. Think about an artist working on a masterpiece. The first brush strokes may not look like much. The process may seem slow, but every stroke, every layer, every detail is important. If the artist rushed, the masterpiece would not be complete. The same is true for our lives. Every experience, every delay, every moment of waiting is adding something to the picture. We may not see the full image yet, but one day we will look back and understand why things happened the way they did. The most beautiful things in life take time. A strong foundation is not built overnight. A deep, meaningful dream is not fulfilled in an instant. The people who reach great success, who accomplish big things, are the ones who didn't quit in the waiting season. They kept believing. They kept moving forward. They didn't let impatience make them settle for something less than what was meant for them. So if you're waiting, if you're wondering why things aren't happening as fast as you hoped, don't lose heart. Keep going. Keep believing. The timing is not a mistake. The delay is not wasted time. What is meant for you is still coming, and when it arrives, you'll see that every moment of waiting was worth it. Everything you desire is possible. but it requires the right mindset, the right actions, and the right timing. If you feel stuck, if things aren't happening as fast as you want, don't give up. Take aligned action. Keep moving forward, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Remove the thoughts that tell you you're not good enough, that you're not capable, that your dreams are out of reach. Stay consistent, even when progress seems slow. The small steps you take every day are building something greater than you can see right now. Most importantly, trust the timing. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. The waiting season is not wasted time, it's preparation. The things meant for you are coming, and when they arrive, you will realize that every challenge, every delay, every moment of doubt was shaping you for what's ahead. Keep believing, keep working, and don't settle for less than what you know in your heart you are meant for. Your breakthrough is coming. Stay ready. Stay faithful. The best is yet to come.